Hi everybody. I was working on this secretary's desk right now. This is Susan with the Withered Barn here in Homedale, Idaho. Authorized Stockist for IOD, Iron Orchids Designs, Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk Paint, and DIY Paint Clay-Based Paint. And I had a happy mistake I have to show you. I wanted to stamp the sides of the drawer. When you guys see the video later, you'll say, oh, I wanted to see the drawers. So I decided to do a quick video. So the happy mistake, I went to stamp my edges with Painterly Roses. And I didn't like it. So I painted over it and decided, oh, I'm just going to do leaves. I stamped the Painterly Roses leaves on the side of my drawers for a little peekaboo moment, and I didn't like it either. So I went to wipe it off with a wet wipe so that it would dry quicker, so I could put another coat of my Fresh Sweet Cream on here from Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk Paint. And I loved the way it looked after I wiped it with the wet wipe. Let me show you. And I'm going to do it the other side for you guys so you can see what I did. It looks like it's burnished in. Look at that. It looks burnt in. What? I love it. I love it. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll put my Miss Lillian's Lackluster over it for my top coat. So I decided I'm going to jump on here, do a quick little video. That's why I'm not set up. So you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me turn the radio down because I'm sure you can't hear me well. Okay. All right. So let me grab, I'm just going to wipe that off because it was on my sawdust down there. Make sure, is that kind of centered right there? So we're not using this. I'm using, which color is this? I'm using Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk Paint in charcoal. And a little bit of industrial, so it's 2 layers. Let me wipe my brayer off real quick. Like I said, I wasn't ready. I just decided I'm just going to jump on and show you guys because someone will ask and I wouldn't have a video ready. Okay, so I just wiped my brayer off with a wet wipe. And these are not baby wipes. They are actual wet wipes. So they have alcohol in them and no oil. Baby wipes sometimes have oil in them, and you don't want that to lessen the adhesion of any paint or top coat or anything because it's got the oil in there. So I always use wet wipes. And then this is the Painterly Roses stamp by IOD. These are all individual pieces. I'll have to put my roses back because I didn't like the way it looked on this little piece. But I am going to use these 2. This is my bottom. This will be my top in a darker color. And that's what will give me my variation of depth. So let me pull this over. Here we go. Okay, so here is my paint. Here's my 2 stamps. I'm going to start with this one, the one with the more detail I'm putting over the top. So it's a two-step. This is the charcoal, I think, right? Yes, this is the charcoal. So my charcoal's going on the bottom, and you can do this with any color. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. Let's do this way. I don't want it to fall either. Nah, let me actually, this is dried a little bit. Let me use a wet wipe on it as well, which will get a little bit of that detail out. Or that paint out of the detail. Again, no oils in it. Okay. So I cleaned it off just a little bit because I had used it for the whole other side. Got sawdust on there again. Okay, I'm gonna just load up my brayer, which is just like loading a, what do you call it, a foam roller or a regular paint roller. I'm gonna move my paint out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to, I would do this on a flat surface normally, but I want you guys to see it. So I'm gonna put the roller with the paint and lightly apply it. I don't want to put pressure because I don't want my paint to seep over the edges of my detail. So that's all I'm doing. Oops, got my finger. Let me wipe my finger off. I don't want it on my white paint. And so, where's the front? This is the front. So I want this one right here, right about there. And I'm just gonna drop it and firmly press, slowly lifting, making sure my edges are down, and lift. And I'm going to continue that pattern real quick. So I'm braying it again. Sometimes you can get two stampings out of your paint. But since I'm going to be wiping it off to get that same look, hopefully, I'm going to stamp it separate. Okay, I think I had 4, maybe 5 on the other side, so I don't want to be exact, but let's go this direction, right about there. I know I did a half, and then spin it. And you see, you don't have to use your entire stamp. And this is for any of the IOD stamps. And the Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk paint works so well on the stamps. It's not too thin and not too thick. Let's go this direction. I think one more, and then we'll do the top part. One more. How about right there? And I'm just freehanding this. I don't have anything, no backing on it. So the next one is my actual detailed stamp right here. So this one's a little more detailed. Let me grab the other one back so you can see. This is the one we just stamped. So there's the difference. See how much more detail the second one's gonna have? So I'm gonna do that detailed. Let me get rid of my charcoal paint. And I've got the industrial right here. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna wipe my paintbrush off because I still have the charcoal on there. And I want the darker color. This is all I'm doing is wiping it off with that same old wet wipe. And I can wash this brayer later with a little bit of dish soap, warm water, and it'll come spotless. The IOD brayers actually work wonderful because they're a little bit spongier than this, but I happen to have this out already. It's the only reason I was using it. Okay, so I'm putting my paint on my brayer right there. Here we go. And I'm going to show you this detail. Hi.
Are you having a class?
No, I'm actually just doing a quick video, but you guys are welcome to come in.
Oh, well, don't let us interrupt you.
You're fine. So all I'm going to do is stick.
I watch your videos and I'm interrupting one of your videos.
Oh, no, you're good. Say hi. So we're putting the second layer over that first one and pressing to give you the detail of your leaf. And you're going to pull it off. And it'll give you the dimension. So let's do these. By the time we get to the end, it'll be somewhat dry and we can wipe it down and it'll actually look like it's burned in to the wood. Come on over and watch. I just knew when I did this later on this piece, someone was going to ask, how did I do that? So I thought, I'm just going to jump on and... We're not live, we're just in a video.
So look what you did here, see, Carrie? And it was all green like this. It's on Facebook.
It used to be black. Do you remember it?
No.
That hutch? It was black and it had the 2 roosters on the front doors.
Oh. And then she did this.
And it just wasn't getting any interest.
Yeah, that's neat. But anyway, so this is some of the stuff I have bought, Carrie, and then I have these.
Okay. So here's the next one. I just have to remember what direction I went. Right there. And then this one was right here. And again, like I mentioned, this is just giving you all that leaf detail. Okay, I'm going to brayer this one up again. Okay, I've got 2 more, and then we'll let it dry for a second, and then wipe it down with that wet wipe. Okay. Okay. There we go. So let me move this aside, and we're going to get the wet wipe out, and we're going to wipe it down, and you guys, hopefully it works again. There's my wet wipe. Okay. Wet wipes again. I'll let this dry a minute. Actually, let me use this. Get a little more. I think I got it too wet right there. Easy fix. I'm going to use a piece of paper towel because I don't want it to really smear that much. But watch. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to lift up that excess moisture. Okay. Now we're going to take that wet wipe. Fingers crossed this works like it did the first time. All I did was take my wet wipe. I'm going to go to the back because I don't want it dripping towards the front. And I lightened it up. See how it's already running? And I'm going to continue to wipe it back. Gotta watch my fingers so I don't get it all over the white. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to take this. Actually, I'm going to let it dry just a tad more. It's a little wet still. Okay. Let me find. Here's my dry one. Let's try a dry. There we go.
So she doesn't have as many kids in here anymore, but she's doing a lot of the artwork. See, even doing it on, this is not it, but if you could do, I have a whole case.
I'm going to use my wet one again, moisten that area up, and just start wiping it back. Isn't that crazy how it looks like it's burned in? Now I'm thinking I want to do this maybe on a tabletop. Okay, I love it. Isn't that beautiful? Let me give you a close-up real quick, and then clean my hands off. Here we go. Clean my hands off, and show you guys a close-up. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Idaho time. Thanks a lot.